What's up, everybody? It's me, Big C. Still working on that username, that original IP. My brand. Today is the start of a brand new series of vlogs. So this is vlog number three, what I wanted to do was, and this is the only time that I'll probably do an introduction to this, as long as this is going to be. But what I wanted to do is present to y'all um, different categories of content and like media that is available right now, that I think is like either some of the best available, and some that I just personally really like. I want to make him kind of like, I want to make him how do I want to put it? I want to make it so it is. I want to make it so it's like accessible to like multiple different kinds of groups. So I don't want to like strictly be like, oh, it's all this or all this. I want to make it so like there's something for everyone, right? And the type of media that I'm gonna try to incorporate, I'll specify it. But I'm gonna start doing, this one's gonna be kind of a video series, and so video content. And this one is gonna be kind of primarily, this is going to be, it's going to focus on YouTube content, mainly because YouTube is the most accessible platform, right? You can do it on your phone, you can do it on your laptop, you can do it on your TV, you can do it in so many different ways. I don't want to assume that everyone has Netflix, right? Although that is extremely accessible. I will definitely, I'll probably like include one Netflix thing, but I don't want to assume that everyone has Netflix, because I didn't have Netflix for over a year. I think, yeah, something close to like 2 years. So, but I will include one just to kind of, have that as an option as well. The category today on video content is going to be food. I have a few that I have written down here when it comes to food. Number one, and this is really no particular order, but number one is it is on, and unless I specify otherwise, it's going to be on YouTube. So the first one is, the channel is called Strictly Dumpling. It's hosted by a dude named Mike Chen. It is an incredible channel. What he does is he travels mainly Asian places, whether that is Eastern Asian, Central, or otherwise, and he just goes to he tries to go to the best possible places that are there, that are kind of like hometown, like locally known good places. So he doesn't go to like, not often at least, to like Michelin star restaurants. He tries to go to places that are good because it's from that area, right? He'll like every now and then he'll do like a food challenge. So like he went to one place, for example, that had a 6 pound dumpling that he tried to eat. It's very good. He's very funny. It's very informative. And it's also just like really cool, kind of learning about that area, kind of that culture that's there. The second one is a channel called Bon Appetit. This one is a little bit more cut and dry. Personally, it doesn't really hit my kind of like humor. Some of it is kind of humor based, especially so Bon Appetit is a test kitchen in New York, with a ton of different personalities that are in there. And what they do is they try to create different content. So like one person, for example, tries to create like super stuff that is like really common, so like Doritos or Hot Pockets. And what she tries to do is she tries to make them like to be like high cuisine. It's really interesting. Another dude is a super taster, so he will literally go in with a blindfold and he'll like eat something by like a famous chef, and he'll try to recreate it from just his taste, his touch, and from his olfactory senses. So it's really interesting. There's a lot of good stuff in there as well. Number three is Binging with Babish. Again, that's the name of the channel, Binging with Babish. The one that's really interesting about this one is that it's like kind of like an ASMR quality. What makes this one interesting is that like it's kind of very straightforward. The dude who runs it, he'll like try to recreate stuff that's like created in like a movie or in a TV show or a cartoon. So, for example, he recently made the SpongeBob, like whatever that crazy patty was from that one episode, and he like recreates that, and so he'll do a lot of really cool stuff like that. It's not really meant to be funny. It's not like a humor based content channel. It is like primarily just very much the just like really good food, really cool and pleasing aesthetic, and some interesting ideas. The next one is a channel called Hot Ones. Hot Ones is an interview based content. So it is it's a dude named Sean Evans who runs that. And essentially what he does, he'll just sit down with a famous person and they will eat a line of hot wings that go from like incredibly mild to like stupid, literally destroy your stomach, make you want to barf kind of hot. But the cool thing is he eats it with them. So like they kind of experience that pain together. And it's an interview. So like he's had people like Gordon Ramsay. He's had, Billie Eilish. He's had, he'll have athletes, he'll have actors, he'll have just like a ton of different people. I think he had Desus and Mero on there. So he has a ton of different people on there. It is very much just like, it's funny depending on who's on there. Normally it's always pretty funny, but like it is an interview, right? So like, if you're looking, like if you want to look for someone specific, be like, oh, I want to check this person out, what they have to say and learn a little bit more about them, then you can definitely do that. So that's kind of what the premise of that one's all about. Next one is one that I recently found that I think is very good. The channel is Try Guys, and they do a series called Without a Recipe. This one is like all humor. Essentially what they do is they go into a competition that has judges, and so these judges are like people like Roy Choi, like pretty like well known like people, and they will go in and try to make a thing without any knowledge of how to make it or without a recipe. So it's just very good because they make just like some garbage stuff. It's one of my favorite things I've watched recently that I think is just check it out. I was crying from laughing. It was that good. The next one, I'm not super big on BuzzFeed, but there is a series that they do. It's their BuzzFeed video, specifically with food, where they try different kinds of foods at different price points. So they did a sushi episode where they tried $1 sushi, and then they worked on like increments all the way up to $133. And so it's like a $1 piece of sushi versus a $133 piece of sushi. I thought it was super interesting just to kind of see like oh, okay, like this is kind of the differences between like what this would be and what this would be. It's also fairly informative. It has a lot of cool places that that can be local and also obviously can be international. It's pretty funny. It's just really interesting and entertaining. The next one is called Chef Club. That's the name of the channel, Chef Club. This one, if I could summarize into one word, it would be goosh. So, Chef Club is not it's not supposed to be funny. It's literally a channel that's incredibly super popular internationally, and it is just them creating. There's no personalities. You don't see a single person. It's just the food. But they make some of the most buck wild food creations. And sometimes it's alcohol too. So it's like drink based, or it's different kinds of food based. Sometimes they'll do like a cheese episode, and but it's like this really weird music, and it's very kind of wholehearted, right? Like it's this very just gentle kind of channel, but the stuff that they make is just outlandish, and so it's really interesting to watch. It's definitely one of those that you can put on in the background and have a couple of people hanging while you're talking and stuff. It's kind of going on in the background, but definitely worth checking out just so you can see what it's all about. But it's super interesting. And the last one here before I wrap up is going to be a Netflix one, a Netflix recommendation here. This one is Chef's Table. So most people have watched Chef's Table. That's just kind of the nature of it. If you haven't, this is primarily, I'd say, about like 90% showcasing a Michelin star restaurant. And they'll go through like the history of like the creator and like how it started all the way to where it is now. And they also do like a little spin-off that's like a dessert one. It's also very good. The reason why I am recommending this one, though, particularly, is their most recent season, which I think is a season 5 or 4. This season primarily focuses on people of color, and it specifically like ties in kind of like a lot of like social justice like issues, and kind of like opening the horizons of like what food, like what good food is, like should be, right? So a lot of them are not Michelin star restaurant owners at all. And instead what it does is it showcases the culture of where they're at, and that specific person and how they kind of fit in that. And so that one to me was like moving. I thought that was like kind of like truly art. I really do think that is like the best stuff that they have put out so far. So if you have not checked it out, please do so. And obviously there's a lot more that's out there. This is kind of like what I think is some of the best content that's out there. If you know of any other ones, go ahead and hit smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'm gonna pull up kind of like a little notepad that has the links to all of these different content creators down in the info below. So I hope y'all have a great day. The next one, the next vlog I have up will be up tomorrow, and we'll kind of see where we go from there. So thank you.